We are live, everyone. Hey, Paul.
What? Look at that. There's
What are you
already
doing,
people
fella?
in here. I was
Yeah.
just tweeting
Hi.
that we're live. I was just tweeting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good.
Nice.
Oh wait, hold on. There we go. I keep I'm in her office. She has a mouse, and I keep wiggling the mouse trying to get something to happen on my iPad, and it's not because I'm not technologically savvy. I'm kind of an
You
idiot.
don't need to be. Hey, we don't need a ton of technology to set this up. I got
true.
lighting and a green screen for all of my meetings and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's like that was enough for me. I didn't even know if I set them up right, but it looks all right.
Than I have.
Yeah.
It looks good. I'm on an iPad with AirPods and whatever Bridget has in the background of her office. So that's where I'm at.
Nice. Well, everyone, we have no fucking clue who might be joining us today. Because that's how we do things. The way we're trying to do things is we get our friends and we send an invite and we just tell them if they are around, pop on, because we're trying to make it a bar environment where everyone runs into each other and says hello and we discuss our stuff. But yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll get started. Paul, today's the first day of fall practices and everyone's getting pretty psyched. I mean, this isn't, we've been psyched. We do this to ourselves every preseason, but I mean, it feels legit. Like there's a ton of media attention. You said what?
I will tell you this. Like there's a difference. There's a difference between the end of the Foo era, and I know people get mad at me for bringing that up, but look, we have to. There's a big difference between the end of the Foo era and the first 2 years of the Pry era and today, right? Like we saw that upward trend at the end of the season. We saw the bowl victory. We see 22 of 22 starters, I believe it is, or 21 of 22 starters, something like that, returning for the Hokies. We see a second season of Kyron Drones, at the helm for the offense. We saw what he could do. Now they're tailoring the offense to his skill set. Defensively, they seem to have things dialed in with Brent Pry as your head coach. So look, I mean, rightly so. If you are a fan of Virginia Tech football, you should be optimistic. What I will say is temper the optimism. Like, don't be out there waving the, 14-0 flag, 13. I don't even know how many games they play in college football anymore. But the whatever and O flag, because we know that that's not realistic. It never has been in the history of Virginia Tech football, as far as I know. But let's look at double-digit wins. 10 wins. We talked about this last time, right? Like you get to 10 wins in power. I guess now it's Power 4 football. You are part of the elite. There are like 20 schools that end up with 10 wins, including a bowl game every season. That's something to get excited about. Like that's elite air right there.
Yeah, I mean, and you brought up a point I keep hearing. Everyone goes on about the bowl game. That wasn't a real bowl game. They didn't have any of their starters. Didn't they not have their coach, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, I mean, they never are, though. That's the thing. Ever since Jake Butt from Michigan tore his ACL in a meaningless New Year's Six bowl game, players that are going to get drafted are like, nah, fam. And rightly so. Like, I mean, I get it. I get
Y'all
it.
hear that? Fam has officially graduated into uncool. I've been using it for a while, so I knew it was uncool. Now Paul drops it casually. We know it's very uncool now.
It's very cool. Look, and I will also drop a YOLO out there at some point today because we know that the kids are saying that.
YOLO never be dated.
No, absolutely. YOLO is definitely a thing. I don't even know what I was saying now. But yeah, I mean,
we were talking about the bowl game.
Temper your expectations. Yeah. Oh, the bowl game. Sorry. Unless you're playing in the 12-team tournament, which, by the way, super excited for the 12-team tournament.
Yeah, I am too.
You're gonna.
And Mike McDaniel, I'm allowed to enjoy the 12-team tournament, Mike McDaniel. Everyone's always ripping on being like,
Why is Mike
yeah,
McDaniel?
but they're just going to be blowouts. I don't fucking care. I still we still got a better chance to get in the playoffs and get more money, and I still get to watch more football. I don't fucking care if it's just like, oh, there's going to be blowouts. No, there's going to be upsets too, and that's going to be insane. Yeah. Everyone loves March Madness because of the upsets. Mm-hmm. So no, I don't want to hear it.
Blowouts. Like,
I love you, Mike.
No, I don't think that there are going to be blowouts. I really don't, because we went through this last time we did this show, right? Like, you look at what those matchups would have looked like last year, and I mean, you got the likes of Florida State matched up with an LSU. You've got the likes of Ohio State matched up with Alabama, right? Like, or something along those lines. Like, those games aren't going to be blowouts. Where you might see the blowout, Jeremy, is if whoever that 12 team is manages to beat the 5 and then ends up having to go play the 1. That game might be a blowout. But I don't think, I mean,
I'm okay with
God's
it,
honest
though,
truth,
because
I would rather watch I would rather watch LSU versus Ohio State on a random Saturday in the middle of December for a chance to move on than I would watch University of Alabama Birmingham take on Boise State in the Bahamas Bowl. So
yeah, exactly.
Give me the 12-team playoff all day.
Yeah, and it also will address a lot of the, SEC bias, Big Ten bias, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Everyone's going to get their shot, and everyone's going to prove it actually on the field, and no one's going to have to worry about that. If we had a 12-team playoff, we wouldn't listen to Florida State fans crying fucking constantly. That's getting really annoying.
It is annoying. Four conference champions, the best group of 5 if they fit into the mold, and then 7 at-large bids. Like, get right here. That's where. Is this? Am I doing this right? Is this?
Yeah. I just want right into your veins, baby.
Right into my veins. That's what I'm looking for, man.
Yeah. That's what I do. Cheers, Wayne says need to start 4-0. Oh, cheers, guy.
I mean,
though Rutgers might be really good. Rutgers is they might be good.
No,
they're recruiting well. They got a good coach.
I understand. Ohio State recruits well, but if they don't coach them up, you lose to Michigan.
They were the national champions.
Who? Michigan?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. But everybody, look, there's always teams that people are hyping up. And some of them rightly so, some of them no, right? Ohio State's a no to me. Like, since Ryan Day took over, he has not done anything outside of when he had Urban Meyer's kids. That was it. It was like he is trending, maybe not as poorly, but he is trending at Ohio State in the same direction that Fu trended here at Virginia Tech. He did good when he had Beamer's guys, but as soon as he had to get his own dudes, he wasn't doing anything. He can't coach them up. That's why they've hired all of these, like, I don't know what to call them, like atomic assistant coaches, like dudes with NFL experience, is because Ryan Day can't coach. And so they've got to have all these guys that are just like Mike Martz or I don't know, whoever their offensive coordinator is, so that they have a chance to, beat the they out-talent.
So you're saying he's like Dabo. Dabo can't coach for shit.
Yeah.
But he sure knew how to launder money well and recruit.
Well, yeah, that is true. That he can recruit and launder money. And you see what happens when he doesn't have his top offensive and defensive coordinators, right? Clemson had a down year last year.
Clemson's going to have an even more down year this year. I don't think Clemson's going to be good. I honestly think NC State's going to be the team to beat in the ACC.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're going to be better than Clemson.
I can see that.
Miami, the wheels are going to fall off of Miami like they always do. They got a ton of talent, and they can click at any moment, and they can beat anybody. But I think Miami's going to go down, and I really think NC State's it. I just don't see Clemson doing well.
I agree with that. I also think
Florida, Joe Hodder asked, is that my bar, Jeremy? It looks cool. Yeah, that is totes my bar.
Yes.
In the background here, it is. You can see all the Jameson bottles here stacked in the corner. The painting, my Regal painting there, and back there is my throne.
No, is that,
Those who
is that
have
under
not
like a
actually
dome of
seen
windows?
the podcast will have no clue what I'm talking about.
That is fair. That is fair. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I do believe that it's going to be an interesting year in the ACC, and I think there's going to be a lot of upsets. And I think that if we're consistent enough and our offensive line steps up, I think we've got it. Like, I think we've got a
That's
really
still
good
the big
chance at doing
question mark.
this. Yeah, it's
and I think
that's the thing is we didn't add anything. Like our O line, that there's not much happening there, and they got better as the year went on, but it's not like they were super stellar. So if we've got Kyron Drones back there and he's got all these weapons and we're doing well, and our line just breaks down whenever they're faced with a tougher defensive line or just a tougher defense, we're going to get creamed out of nowhere. So it's one of those things that I am very nervous about because we're one key injury away from having a rougher time. I think Pop's coming along. I don't think he's ready.
Right.
I think we'll be okay if a wide receiver or two goes down just because that room's so stacked. But
same thing at running
offensive
back.
Line is, same with running back.
I mean, hopefully
if the offensive line
plays the whole
folds,
season. Yeah.
If they don't come along and a few of them get hurt, then I think it's going to be rough going for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I can agree with that. I think that is the biggest question mark when you talk about Hokie football, right? Is what does that offensive line actually look like when the rubber meets the road? And, we'll see. Joe's right, though. The O-line probably is better now because they now know how to use drones. Like, we got to remember, like, that first half, maybe not quite half, but close to half of the season, they were still trying to figure some stuff out.
They were trying to figure a lot of shit out. It was painful.
Yeah.
Like, I was a full-on Pride believer, and I was ready for heads to roll over that season. And then it started clicking, and I look like an idiot, and I'm okay with that. I'm full on okay admitting when I'm wrong. People really don't know that or understand that, but if I'm wrong, I will full on admit I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And I was very wrong.
I think, with any coach, you got to give them, 3 years. You have to definitely see an upward trend, and we're trending in that direction at Virginia Tech. I think by the fourth year, that's kind of how you know who you are, right? Like if they can get to 10 wins or close, 9 or 10 wins this year, and then next year we see 10 or maybe even 11 wins, then we know that we have something that has been built the right way here. So
yes,
I think,
and we're going to have more people. People are talking about us again. People were not talking about us for years, and they're fucking talking about us again. That's awesome to see.
Yeah.
Now I don't avoid turning on ESPN or something whenever it goes through because they're not going to talk about us. What do I care?
Right.
Now I'm actually interested because we're brought up. We're talked about. I mean, also it's people want us to be good. ESPN, everyone else, they want us to be good because we bring eyeballs and we have a good product. We have a great environment. People want us to do well because college football is better when we're better.
Right. That's exactly it. There's a lot of programs like that in the ACC. So hopefully they all step up.
Yeah. I think college football is better whenever we're better. I think it's better whenever Clemson's better. I hate to say it. I think college football is better when Miami's better, and I fucking hate them.
Miami, Florida State. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, FSU's still good.
Yeah. Then you just got to find one or two other schools that, potentially can step up. For a while, Louisville was that school. You said NC State. We've seen North Carolina. I don't know about North Carolina. They tend to overpromise and underperform. And that's that. If I'm a UNC fan, like that's my biggest thing. I realize they're all just waiting until November for basketball season.
UNC's
like, if
never performed. I will never get the hype there. Like even when they have recruits and
I agree.
They think they're trending in the right direction, they fucking suck. Mm-hmm. They don't have a good program. They don't have a good environment. They don't have a good culture. who cares? That's why it's hilarious to me whenever they talk about UNC going to the SEC. I get it. That's a great national brand. But it makes me laugh even more when they talk about Virginia going to the SEC, because that is such a cultural mismatch in any way. It's like Kentucky.
It is. It's exactly that.
By the way, I just want to say,
example.
I fucking hate Kentucky fans. They're the worst goddamn fans in the world. I know we've talked about it before, and I just want to bring that up.
Really?
They are. They suck, man. They're like.
See, I had a good experience. I had a great experience with the Kentucky fans at the Belk Bowl.
I didn't. They all sucked. They wouldn't do shots with me. They wouldn't do anything. They were just like, I understand you're going to shit talk, but it's like, we don't have bad blood. Like, it doesn't have to be at that level.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just didn't like them. They rubbed me the wrong way. I don't like getting petted against my grain.
At least somebody was rubbing you.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. National conversation, huh?
Yes, it's good that we're back in the national. People are talking about us making the playoffs again. Like, well, not again. Back then, it was what major BCS bowl game are we going to, or are we in the real national conversation? I remember just waking up and checking polls in college whenever they'd come out, just waiting to see what the rankings would be. I mean, that was an exciting time, and I didn't know how good we had it, but now everyone's talking about us again. It looks like we've got a good product. People are at least excited about the product. And we're rolling into this season, and everyone in town's excited. People come to the pharmacy, and they always ask me about the football team. And it's good to have that. Don't get me wrong, I get that all the time every year, but now it's like an optimistic, what do you think about this football team? Not a hesitant. So what do you think about this football team?
Right.
That's nice.
I'm just looking here to see. We didn't end the season, so they haven't updated. ESPN hasn't updated its top 25 rankings. It's still got last year's rankings on there, but I know that let me see if I can find the preseason rankings. I'm pretty sure Virginia Tech is or was in the top 25.
Do we have official preseason rankings yet?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I've been balls deep in so much other stuff.
You're out there trying to change the world of pharmaceuticals. So
not just pharmacy, all of healthcare.
There you
it's
go.
Wild. I'm on the FTC hearing tomorrow morning. It's pretty crazy.
Are you really?
Yeah. I don't know. I've talked and people listen. It's weird.
Yeah. They like you. They really it's awesome. Like you.
Yeah. My PBM on the Rocks podcast. We have Matt Stoller on. He's a big deal. So
I don't know who he is, but I agree with you. He is a big deal. If you say so. I'm just looking here. Clemson right now in the preseason is 16th. I'm just looking because I'm pretty sure Virginia Tech right now is 24th in the preseason rankings. They were 23rd. They dropped a spot. Oklahoma was 23rd. They moved up. Oklahoma State. Sorry, they moved up a spot.
So there's already spot shifting right now?
Yeah.
Based on what?
Probably practice, like what people see. A lot of conjecture, stuff like that. Yeah.
Bullshit. It's based on bullshit. Preseason polls are always based on bullshit.
This is something, preseason polls are something for us idiots to talk about. Louisville at 25, Virginia Tech at 24, NC State at 20. Hang on, because I know there's more. There's more ACC teams. Clemson at 16. Miami at 14. Again, overhyped, underperformed. The Miami Hurricane story. Florida State at 11, and I think that might be it for the ACC. But that's still, what did I just rattle off? 6 teams from the ACC in the preseason top 25?
Yeah.
So ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'll take that. And this also brings me up. I'm just going to go ahead and skip forward to it. All this talk about us going to the Big 12, honestly, if Clemson and FSU leave, I'd rather stay at the ACC than go to the Big 12. I really rather would. Though? Yeah, if we've got playoff tie-ins.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
As long as it doesn't implode fully.
That's my concern, is that it's going to implode fully. That would be my biggest worry, is that.
You know what would be hilarious? If Clemson and FSU go to the Big 12 and then the ACC implodes and we end up in the SEC.
Yeah. I've made an argument. I can make an argument for the SEC, the Big 12, or the Big 10 for Virginia Tech. We're in the perfect.
I don't see us getting in the Big Ten, though. They're going to go so balls deep in Virginia. I mean, they might come and take us just to have an answer if SEC for some reason takes Virginia, but
we're 5 hours from Ohio State. We're 5 hours from Penn State. We're 5 hours from Maryland. We're like 6.5 hours from Rutgers.
Yeah, I'd love to be in the Big Ten. Honestly, the more I think about it, I think the Big Ten would be better for our school overall.
Yeah,
just because that research money is so fucking sweet. But it's one of those things that I don't think that the Big Ten wants us all that much, even if we bring a good market and a good program. I don't know. Like, I'd like it. I think it'd be great.
The thing I think
CVS.
that we have to remember.
Fuck CVS. Thanks, Chris Arnold.
I was for me and Chris. That was all. Here's the thing though, right? Like, what Virginia Tech brings a very similar thing to the Big Ten that Maryland and Rutgers brought to the Big Ten, right? Maryland and Rutgers were brought into the Big Ten to pull the DC market and the New York market, right? Virginia Tech pulls the DC market because of all of the alums in Northern Virginia. We also pull a ton of North Carolina because there's a ton of Virginia Tech alums there. And then obviously Virginia, you can say whatever you want. Virginia Tech runs Virginia. Even when they're down, Virginia Tech runs Virginia. Even if you say,
Virginia,
UVA's men's basketball team is better. Yeah.
Yeah, but basketball don't make money. Not like football. Like, they make money, but not like football. And that's why we have all these eyeballs in multiple states, in the D.C. area. Thanks, Monique. Yep. When I do talk, people listen. I appreciate it, Monique. We have all these people in the D.C. area. We have all these people in Charlotte. We actually have a ton of people in Atlanta, but our alumni are in key markets. They graduate from here, and they go to great markets. And we have fan bases everywhere, a significant number. So I think we do bring that, but
I mean this with all due respect. No, very few are staying. You are an enigma by staying in or coming back to Blacksburg, right? Like, most of the alums, look at Andrew. Andrew jumps to Charlotte, right? Jimmy Cleveland goes from Cleveland to Charlotte. Now, I'm just picking friends of mine that I know, but I think that this is probably a trend. Nels was heading back up to Northern Virginia. By the way, we'll have a big announcement about Nels hopefully on our next podcast. Stick around for that.
Congratulations, Nels. We love you, brother.
Yeah, Nels. By the way, buddy, if you do see this, man, congrats, dude. That's awesome.
To Nels.
And if I'm not your first guest, to Nels. And if I'm not your first guest, I will find you and beat you. Anyway. We bring markets, right? We bring market share as Virginia Tech. So if the Big Ten wanted Maryland, and let's be honest, right? Maryland and Rutgers are also Rands in the Big Ten. They're not high-end programs, right? They're not Ohio State. They're not Penn State. They're not Wisconsin. They're not Michigan, right? Like, they're strictly there to pull New York and DC numbers. Well, Virginia Tech can be a big contributor to the Big Ten as far as a team that can do damage, and we're going to pull the Northern Virginia DC market. We're going to pull the Charlotte market. We're going to pull the Tidewater market, and probably some of the Pittsburgh market, Philadelphia market.
Yeah,
there's no college football in Philadelphia, really. So.
Yeah. And I don't know. That brings me up to next. Paul Feinbaum is an ignorant dick. And I'll tell you why. He came out, just being his normal ignorant dick self, and was talking about how the SEC doesn't want to take Virginia Tech because Virginia Tech is not up to the academic standards of the SEC. If we were in the SEC right now, we would be the 4th ranked school as far as national ranking in the SEC. We would be number 6 in research money. It is absurd. Like, our SAT scores, I think, came in at number 5.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, we want flagship state schools and not these other schools. Okay, if you want eyeballs for football, and you're going to want NC State and Virginia Tech rather than UVA and UNC.
Listen. Paul Feinbaum also said that Jim Harbaugh is not a good coach and that Michigan would never amount to anything under Jim Harbaugh. So we can take whatever Paul Feinbaum says with a grain of salt, right? My dogs are really excited about whatever Bridget's eating downstairs. I don't know if you can hear them or not. We can take whatever he says with a grain of salt, and we can also lump in a big old pile of shit on top of that, because that's what it's good for. Paul Feinbaum is basically just gobbling at the knob of Alabama. And now that Nick Saban's gone, I'm not really sure who he's going to suck off, if we're being honest. Because if you look real close around here, his lips have stretch marks from him giving Nick Saban so much head over the years. So, I mean,
you think Nick Saban's that?
I don't know what he's
loaded?
going to do now. I mean,
that he's giving him
Paul
stretch
Feinbaum
marks.
probably has a small mouth. He might have a small mouth. I don't know. It's Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Do you not think he's packing?
No. I think that's what makes him so mad. He's got a chip on his shoulder and he's angry.
He has a big boat. I do know that. I saw that feature on ESPN. So maybe.
Of course, he has a big boat. The man's rich. It's a rule that if you're as rich as Nick Saban, you have to have a large boat. You don't even have to go on it. You just have to have it.
That's true.
I don't know why.
He goes on it every day. He also bathes in the lake by his house. So I'm not really sure. That's a little bit goofy if you ask me.
Yeah, he's a fucking weirdo, but that's fine because he's brilliant. And most brilliant people are weird. And I'm okay with that.
That is true. Case in point. The gentleman wearing scrubs on this podcast.
I didn't have time to change. I came in and I got my thing set up and said hello to my baby. I got shit to do. I had to write a ton of things today. You what?
You mean the lovely Maddie Ryan Counts?
Oh, you dickhole.
What?
For those who don't know,
I can't wait for
Paul loves to call my child Maddie Ryan Counts because I hate Matt Ryan, and we all know why.
Maddie Ryan Counts. She even has.
Speaking of things I'm pissed about. Speaking of things I'm pissed about. Fucking South Carolina and the Beamer Ball trade. I know it's just Beamer Ball in that particular logo, but it still pisses me off.
Yeah? Really?
Yes. Why would it not piss me off?
I mean, I'd be more mad if somebody rolled in with a lunch pail. I understand. You
gotta understand, it's a cultural thing, Paul. Beamer Ball, that was our identity for so long.
I understand.
It don't matter two coaches ago. That was our entire persona for so long. When you think Beamer Ball, you think he mentioned. Yeah, I did. Stephen Marnie, who actually married us, me and Emily, said he mentioned how much he hates Matt Ryan in his wedding vows. I did. Matt Ryan was featured in my wedding vows. That wedding that Paul missed because he was too busy to come to my wedding in town. Paul.
I'll come to your next one.
It's okay. I'll go to yours. And I'll bring it up.
All right. I appreciate that. In the toast that you have to do?
Oh, the toast will be excellent. I can do some things very well. I can write, especially speeches, and I can give speeches really well.
Joe is right.
Wait,
if they start playing Enter Sandman at South Carolina, now we're going down there and we're taking our knives and we're gonna have a knife fight in the parking lot, right? Beamer Ball.
Who are we gonna fight?
Again, South Carolina fans. If they start playing Enter Sandman at the games.
That's not the fans' call. Yeah, I mean, I read it. That's not the fans' call. Why would I knife some rando? Besides that, I like it.
Yep. We'll call it surgery.
Amateur surgery.
Speaking of, okay with him using, yes.
We've got a big scholarship limit increase that just got approved.
I did not.
And
see
everyone's
this.
talking
I
about how
probably
it's
need to
like
do more
terrible
research.
for us. You said what?
Okay, why? I haven't even seen this.
Because
What
we
is
got to
the-
spend
what is
more
the
money.
scholarships going to?
It's
Okay.
going up to like 100 or something. It's insane.
It'll go from 85 to 105, a 20 scholarship increase. There are some restrictions on it.
That
Baseball is going
clearly
up.
favors the rich programs.
Well, you
Just
know how
when
we
we're
fix
trying to
that,
get some
right?
parity in college football, that very much favors them. It's going to make the
Yeah.
transfer portal get even crazier.
Here's the thing with the transfer portal. What you very rarely see is guys transfer up. So the transfer portal, honestly, is fairly irrelevant. Even Kyron Drones transferred laterally to Virginia Tech. Let's call it what it is, right? Most of
Baylor?
the guys transferred down.
At the time, yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah, it's a lateral transfer. But like
Yeah.
most of the guys, I would venture to guess, and I don't have any statistics in front of me. I'm shooting from the hip here, as I like to do. I would venture to guess that probably 65% of all college football transfers in some way, shape, or form transfer down. Whether it be going from
Yeah, but I'm not worried about keeping the
Okay.
lower tier athletes. I'm worried about getting people poached. I mean, we had to fight off LSU for
We'll be
Kyron
the poacher.
to keep him.
We'll be the poacher.
You think we'll be the poachers? We got to spend a
Oh,
bunch
yeah,
of extra money on extra scholarships.
Okay, that's
That's
fine.
extra
We'll
NIL
be the
money if we're
poachers.
giving NIL money
That's
out
fine.
to everybody.
Then rich alums like yourself and Marnie and Chris Beluso.
Rich? I'm not rich. I don't have
need
any money. I own a pharmacy. We're all dying.
Need to get off. Need to get off your wallet. Get off your wallet and give a little bit more to the Hokie Club. Here's the thing, right? Like the Ohio States, the Alabamas, the LSUs, the Michigans of the world are always going to have guys that commit and never see the field. Those guys are going to look for places to land. Those guys could potentially be upgrades for a program like Virginia Tech. Now, I'm not talking about starters. I'm talking about depth guys, but a guy that could possibly get on the field here where at Ohio State or Alabama, he hadn't seen the field, right? Like, for how many years did Nick Saban have a second string offensive line that would start at every school except for Alabama in the nation, right? Like, those dudes aren't going to see the field, so they want to look for somewhere to play so that they can prove themselves. And why not transfer to a Virginia Tech? I think the more scholarships is a better thing because guys are going to – look, initially freshmen are going to be like, yeah, I'm going to Alabama. And then about midway through your freshman year, you're going to be like, I don't belong at Alabama. Let's go find me a better school where I fit. And that's where schools like Virginia Tech are going to be – they're going to be able to gobble up some talent.
Okay, I can see that argument. As long as we are paying our too deep well with NIL money and we keep that money flowing, I think we'll be okay. It's just, it's really, we'll see how it goes. It's one of those things where the transfer portal is a market now. It's a full-on market. It always has been a market, but it's even more a market now. And it's way more transparent than it used to be. And whenever it's like that, you never actually know how the market's going to react to these things.
Sure. The first 2 years are going to be an absolute shit show. It's going to be. It's how it always works, right? The first 2 years of NIL was an absolute shit show. What was his name? Cade McNamara? No, not Cade McNamara. He was a Michigan quarterback. Who was the kid? Quinn Ewer signed $1 million NIL deal at Ohio State as a high schooler coming out. Never even played. Bro collected $1 million.
I knew that was gonna calm down eventually for just getting unproven products. I knew that would happen. Mm-hmm. Also, I think return on investment is going to be lacking with a lot of companies that are throwing a big amount of NIL money that way. You're not going to get your ROI on that stuff. So I think that will calm down. But now it's become such a thing that wealthy alumni will just straight up fund it because that's what's keeping the football teams going well. And honestly, thank you, NIL, because I think us doing okay with NIL is one reason that we're able to come back the way we have. We were able to replace. We were able to fend off LSU from getting drones. Like,
yeah. What I'll tell you
I've
is where businesses, and if you're a business owner today listening to this, here's my tip for you. If you're going to contribute, utilize that, right? Like, so I'll just pick random, let's say Duncan Auto Group, right? Duncan Auto Group wants to fund some NIL, right? Then you need to start getting these kids out there and have them shoot some commercials for you. Hey, this is Paul Van Wagner, outside linebacker for the Virginia Tech Hokies. I just bought myself a car at Duncan Ford, right? I got myself this brand new F-150, and I'm just using them as an example, right? But I'm saying, like, you know, if Quest Floor Care, shout out to Joseph Rogers, by the way, sponsor of the show. If Quest
shout
Floor
out Joe,
Care,
and happy birthday to his son Zach.
Happy birthday, Zach. If if Quest Floor Care is throwing some NIL money at Virginia Tech football, then you know what? You need to do a video shoot where a couple of offensive linemen are scrubbing some floors, right? Post that out there on social media. Take advantage of the fact that you are paying these kids to be there. Like, just say to the people, hey, yo, I need these two guys to come and shoot this video with us, right? Like, Main Street Pharmacy. If you all are going to go ahead and sponsor, we talked about this before, women's softball, right? Then let's get some of the pitchers in there throwing pitches to customers that are picking up their prescriptions, right? Like, take advantage of that. Like, that is the
actually had a really good idea for a commercial with drones, and it was going to be incredible, but it's something that I could not do right now. And with Cody passing away, shout out our friend.
Yeah.
We miss you, Cody.
Cody Thompson. Man.
Yeah, that we were going to do it with Cody and them, and it's So, but actually, I pinned one of the first NIL deals at Virginia Tech history with Trey Turner. It was with Trey.
Yeah.
Me and him, we just did a thing where it was, and back then it was even more of the Wild West than it is now, where it was just like, hey, this is an NIL deal. You want to come just like promote some of my stuff once a month? That's how we did it. That's all you could do that first year. Like, there wasn't anything structured.
We need to hit the rewind button. I got a text message from Emily Counts that says, quote, "I'll come to your next wedding. Ouch, LOL." But Emily, like, I'm saying that because eventually you're going to get sick of Jeremy's shenanigans and realize that there's better out there. That's where I was going with that.
Oh, no, it's amazing that she hasn't already. The best thing I have going for me is I'm a really good dad.
Oh, my God.
Holy shit. It's Andrew fucking Alex himself. Here he is.
Hey, gentlemen. What's going on, guys?
The king is here.
What's going on, fellas? How we doing?
Well, turn the hat around. At least let us see if you're wearing a Duke hat right now.
No, it's not a Duke hat. It's a golf course in Wisconsin.
Okay. I'm going to Wisconsin soon.
When are you going?
There's a protest at Optum RX, and I'm live casting from it.
Does it happen to be on Wednesday? Because I'm going back.
It is on Friday the 13th in September.
No, I will not be there. I will see you though at the Marshall game.
Nice. I'm fucking psyched for that first game, man.
I know, dude. It's going to be electric.
All right, look at this right there. The Andrew Alex.
There he is, the man himself.
Future town councilman Frank Merritt. Andrew made an appearance. He's only 39 minutes late. So,
no, if you count the other episode, he's more like 2 hours late.
That is true.
Well, the other episode, I never showed up. But
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
It's fine. Neither did Trey.
Oh, Trey Turner didn't show up either? Oh, my God.
No, he did to us like he does to Don V all the time. Just no call, no show.
Sometimes you just got to ghost, man.
By the way,
I didn't.
Dude, it's Trey. We love him anyway. He's just got to be Trey.
The thing, as I've told you guys, as a man who lives alone, works from home, if I go get my happy hour drink and then suddenly the entire town wants to sit at my table and hang out, I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity to have some live
blame
in-person
you. That's
interaction with human beings. But
That's fair.
Interaction with human beings. You don't get that all day? You work sales.
I said live and in-person interaction. I'm
Oh.
Either of you guys want a
Zoom
dog?
sales.
No, I've got enough dogs.
All right.
Andrew has stumbled in. No.
No, live interaction with other people. Honestly, my favorite thing about this podcast is I get to hang out with you all again a little bit more.
Oh,
Andrew's
no,
out of town. I hardly get to see him. Paul, he lives out of town now. I still get to see him about once a week, so that's pretty cool. And then we get to come on and do these things. So
Well, the
it's
good
fun.
news
Where I
is,
can have a few drinks with y'all.
Is seeing
I usually
season in my life is coming up. We are counting down the days until you'll see too much of me, and that applies to a lot of our listeners.
Frank and Tina.
Who I'm
Frank
very
and Tina
excited.
also. Yeah. What about
Very, very
what about
excited.
James Xavier Priotel? Is he coming too?
Well, someone had to buy season tickets with me, so yeah, he'll be around.
Okay. All right. Wayne, we would
Jimmy
love to
Cleveland
have
in
Blue
the
Chew
Berg.
sponsor us. We would
Blue
absolutely,
Chew's
if we
sponsoring.
could get Blue Chew to sponsor us, that would be fantastic, Wayne. Looking for that. If you have an in, if anyone has an in with Blue Chew, please send them our way.
What is Blue Chew?
Yeah, what is Blue Chew?
I don't know what that is.
What? Really? As a pharmacist, you don't know what Blue Chew is? It's an
Well, everyone-
online. It's an online one of these. You know what I'm saying? You with me?
Oh, it's one of those dick
Little-
pill meals. Yeah,
Yes.
it's overpriced
Yes.
as shit. I don't know why people use it. Like it's just marketing, and Viagra and everything else. It's Cialis, all that. It's cheap as dirt now. Anyone that's sitting around and be like, you can get Viagra for $2 a pill. They're overcharging you by about $1.50 a pill. Like they're bullshitting you. Just go to your normal doctor and say you need dick pills. You're going to pay a whole lot less. Viagra's cheap now.
How about that?
I'll just come to you. Matt McMurray joining
McMurray.
us here as a Matt Campus Auto, campusauto.co. If you're looking to get your car repaired, you need a state inspection, anything like that, the way to go.
I'm
live
just
in
gonna say,
Roanoke. I still bring
if-
my vehicle to Campus Auto.
I will give someone a full ass year supply of Viagra for $100. That is a single pill
cancel.
every single day. $100.
I will tell you. I will tell you. And shout out to Paul on this one. R.I.P. to our good friend Scott Nason. He would have gone through that in like a week and a half, man.
Oh yeah, Scott Nason would have used that. Scott Nason would have used that by next Thursday. That's the-
The man just went. Hey, one of my favorite things about the Scott Nason intro was the
genetic
boings.
jackhammer. Oh yeah, all the boings. Yeah, God love him.
Shout out Campus Auto
Look at that,
for
Matt.
fixing
You show
Graham's
up,
car. We don't want
Campus
Reggie to be
Auto.
stranded.
Comments Viagra, and now we're just promoting Campus Auto and erections. That's where we're
promoting
at.
We
Campus
promote
Auto.
our friends. That's what we do.
I'm back in my comfort zone promoting
it.
Campus Auto. It makes me happy to do stuff.
Yeah, that is true.
So, Andrew,
My
what is it you sell?
favorite-
It's the
okay.
car software, isn't it?
I do. That's the line of work. I'm in the automotive industry. Great people. I always tell people, after having worked with Paul and the kind of businesses that we worked with back in the day, small businesses, I want to. I have no interest in playing ball with these corporate bigwigs who actually don't give a crap. I'd rather help an actual person with their life and help their business get better, because those are the kind of people I like. So
So your
Let me tell you guys.
your car
Go ahead.
software
Finish
company. It's one of the independent software companies, right?
yes.
Yeah. Okay, you're doing the good work. There's so many lack of independent vendors out there in the software space, not just in automotive. It's happening in pharmacy too. Shout out Datascan. They sponsor my other podcast. Shout out Datascan. They're one of the few left because there's so many conglomerates buying everything up because private equities and everything. And I'll get off my nerd soapbox, but it's happening in every industry right now. It's bad.
Let me tell you all my favorite Matt McMurray, Andrew Alex story, if we could, for a moment.
Oh my gosh.
So
this
I'm
is the
sitting at
best.
home. This is prime COVID, right? Like No, everything is shut down. Everything is locked down. You can't go
it's truly
anywhere. You
to
can't
pin
do
it.
anything.
It's got to be like April 15th of 2020. Like,
yeah.
The world has come to a screeching halt.
I don't know. Yeah, that sounds about right. Matt McMurray out of the blue sends me a text message, and the text message reads something along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, your boy's car is in my impound yard. To which I respond with just a question mark. I'm like, what? And he's like, the redhead that works for you, I have his car in my impound yard. And I'm like, Andrew? With a question mark, because I'm still confused. I'm like, what the hell's going on? He goes, yeah. And I said, what? Like, why? How? So apparently during COVID, obviously Blacksburg parking enforcement wasn't really enforcing parking. Except if you parked in the lot where the Blacksburg Farmers Market was, between the Farmers Market and Champ Sports Bar, if you parked in that general area on Friday night, they was enforcing it. And Andrew, because he lived in that general area, was parked there. And of course, Campus Auto got the call to come tow all the cars out of there, Andrew's being one of them. So I text Andrew and I'm like, hey man, where's your car at? And he goes off. I don't know if you thought I had actually stolen your car or what, but you were like, I just walked through there. My car's missing. Where the hell's my car, Paul? Like, you were mad about whatever had happened to your car.
No, your voice was not nearly deep enough for Andrew. Paul, where's my car?
That's
so
true.
Where would it go? Why would they take it?
Where's my car?
I will tell you. So here's the
my
story.
car's missing.
Here's the story from my perspective.
All right.
So yes, the farmers market was no longer a thing for a while because of social distancing. And at that point, I permanently parked my car right there because the living alone in a social distance environment thing, Jimmy Cleveland will make fun of this. 36 hours, I was posting like Bible verses on Twitter and stuff like that. I didn't do too well, by myself during that period of time. Though, as Paul will agree, for a while, we were going back to work and it was good because at least we had each other. That was cool. But I was like, whatever.
Dude, y'all got me through.
I am essentially moving back into the penthouse. I can't be alone all the time. So either way, my car is permanently parked there. We're chilling. I think me and the great James Mountain were walking to the Cellar six-pack store to
was it
go get some beer.
Was it 40-year-old mom night there? Is that why you guys were going there?
It must have been. So either way, we're walking through the parking lot, and I see our friend Grace Scott's car. I'm like, oh, man, look, there's Grace Scott's car. She must be at the penthouse right now. And then I turn to him and I go, wait a second. That's where my car was parked. At which point I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm freaking out. I knew Matt had to have had it. So I texted him.
So, and the way it lined up was he had stumbled upon it as Matt had texted me, right? So then I hit Andrew with the text message of, hey dude, where's your car right now? And he's losing his shit. Like he can't, and rightly so, right? Like you think your car is parked in a particular spot and you can't find it. It's not there. Like, yeah, okay, I get it. So he's like, he thought, I don't know, Andrew, you can answer this. Did you think that I stole your car or something? Because you were indignant.
No, I never would have pinned it on you. I was mad that there should have been a little bit more notice that the farmers market was coming back other than the Facebook post. I
actually didn't know this part of the story. I'm pretty psyched about the entire, hey dude, where's my car rendition with fucking Andrew Alex and Jimmy Cleveland. Wait, no, it's Mountain.
So Andrew's like, and Mountain is Mountain. So Andrew says to me, he's like, what do I do? And I'm like, here's Matt's cell number. Like, you need to call him and you need to be contrite. Like, you need to apologize. You need to tell him
And cry
like,
because you're broke.
like he's got you by the short hairs right now. Like
He
he
did.
can charge you whatever he wants to get your car out of hock. And so I think you ended up getting it out. He didn't charge you any storage fees. You got it out for basically
I got
the
it out.
cost of the
Because
tow.
keep in
right?
mind, I had missed this because during that period of time during COVID, and especially and really almost the entire like post, really the entire time I worked for Paul, I was either living, except for the last year, I was living downtown. I never had to drive. It was always walkable. So I would go days, especially during COVID, without having to worry about my car. So the car, I think, had been in Matt's possession for 6 or 7 days at that point. So he,
It has been a minute.
by the book, could have charged me an arm and a leg for storage. And, he helped me out. And, Matt McMurray, love you to death, brother. Thank you for helping a young boy in his time of need. But
Matt takes care of his people.
Yeah.
He came.
And
Paul brought him over whenever my battery died on the Jeep, and he came over with Paul. Didn't charge me a dime, anything else, just helping a friend out.
Yep.
I'll always appreciate Matt McMurray, and I'll always take my car to Campus Automotive because of it. Shout out Campus Automotive.
Matt's
Matt
a good
McMurray.
dude. I drive up from Roanoke to get my shit done at Campus Automotive.
Yeah.
I will purposely schedule a day where I just come to Blacksburg from Roanoke if I need to get stuff done on my car at Campus Automotive because they've been so good to me. So yeah,
That's
shout
a
out
good
to
thing
Campus
about, most of the people in Blacksburg. They will take care of you, especially the small business owners. We've got a bunch of small business owners in Blacksburg, and it's a good community. It's a shame that the town hates small businesses in Blacksburg, but it's a great community.
Frank Merritt for town council.
Amen.
Frank
Jay
Merritt for
Tucker
town council.
Jay
Jay Tucker for town council.
McMurray.
Who
Matt
do you think
McMurray-
we're going to
so the
convince to
problem
run
is Matt
first?
McMurray-
Who do you think we're going to
Jay.
convince to run first? Jay?
Jay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could see Jay.
Frank did a little bit of research and he discovered that he wants none of that smoke. So,
Yeah, it's a lot
That
of
is
shit to
true.
deal with and a lot of work. It's annoying. I would not hold a public
Yeah.
office.
Yeah. No.
Matt
No, so I
McMurray
think
said
we
Paul
can
Van
convince
Wagner was the
Jay-
first friend who bought a car for me at Campus Ford. See?
Yep. Now I
Great
will
community.
I will say this about Matt. Matt knows how to play the game, and he's right. I did. But so here's what Matt did. Matt and I were having a conversation, and I said, I really want to get myself a full-size pickup truck with a full back seat, right? And I thought that this was a throwaway conversation, right? Like, I mean, it would be like me going to Jeremy and being like, I really want some Viagra. It's just a throwaway conversation. 2 days
It's a cheap
later,
drug.
Matt sends me a picture of the truck I currently own and was like, is this what you're looking for? And I was like, yep, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Again, what I'm thinking is just a throwaway conversation. Day later, Matt McMurray texts me and says, the truck's sitting at Campus Auto. Go ahead and take it for the week and drive it. Look, you give me exactly what I want in a vehicle and tell me to take it for a week and drive it. I'm not bringing that back. It's like adopting a puppy. You give me a puppy for a week and tell me, here, take it. See if you like it. Look, I'm going to become attached to it. And that's exactly what happened. Matt knew. That being said, if y'all want a dog, I'm going to give Igor away to the highest bidder. But like, Matt knew how to play the game. He tricked me into buying that truck, and I have no regrets about it. That's what I'll say.
I tricked you into doing something good for you. I feel like
I
that's
tricked you into
Emily's
buying
entire life.
exactly what you wanted.
Tricking me into
Igor,
doing something that's
stop.
good for me.
Yeah.
The other great story
It's all-
in relation to my car, and first of all, before anything, shout out Ben Carrier. I know he's watching. He just shot me a text message. But
Who's that? I'm sorry,
Mo.
I missed that. My dog
got
is barking in the
shit-faced.
background.
My friend Mo, he posted, Jeremy, remember that time we were drunk and tried to find that car in that field? We got hammered
I gotta go
over
yell at a dog.
my
I'll
friend's place in Pal Valley.
put yourself
And,
on mute before you leave. All right.
Oh, he's not going to do that. By the way, I'm buying Paul both a camera and a microphone. I'm going to get him one of those little USB Yeti mics, and I'm going to get him a little camera, and we're going to get his quality up. We're going to do it that way.
Yeah, I mean, again, he should be a seasoned professional in that regard. But Jeremy, I mean, otherwise, you know, you're a father. You're well accomplished. You're a better man than you were the day I met you, and you were still a good man then. Now that your child is a little bit older, is that changing your lifestyle day to day? Are you getting more sleep? What's the perspective like?
I mean, I never got much sleep. It's one of those things where my days are better because I get my little angel every morning. But no, I mean, it's better. There's not a ton of extra time for a lot of things, especially I do a lot of work in advocacy and pharmacy and everything else, and it's a whole thing. So I got to run my business, do that, and I have a 1-year-old, and it's a lot of work, but it's rewarding. You know, it's one of those things I like to be able to come on and, you know, do these little podcasts, and it's great to be able to have a creative outlet again in a lot of ways, because beforehand it was music. I played in a band for a long time with Marnie, who's on here. I miss that. I miss having a creative outlet, and doing a lot of the podcast and a lot of my advocacy work has allowed me to express myself in that way, because I do a lot of writing as far as articles, speeches sometimes, things like that. And I get to come on these podcasts and get drunk and be an ass. So it's
Matt
pretty
McMurray,
great.
to answer your question, he is from Honaker originally.
I'm not from Honaker, you stupid dick. Also, let's clear this up. My name is Jeremy Counts. Gray is my middle name. I go by Jeremy Gray on Facebook because I didn't want everyone just looking me up randomly. I'm going to change it back at this point because, yeah, it's a whole thing.
He's from Grundy.
But yeah, I'm from Hayside, Virginia,
Honaker.
Dickinson County. I'm from the middle of nowhere.
Honaker.
Paul talked earlier about everyone goes off and they don't stay in Blacksburg. Jeremy, you're an enigma. All these people are going to the big towns. This is the big town for me.
This is a big town. Yeah, as someone that moved here from northern Michigan, I can tell y'all, like, if you look at Blacksburg and Christiansburg in that area and you go, ah, man, this is a small town. Jeremy and I can show you small town. We can show you what it looks like when, you know, you got to really work hard to get outside of your family tree to find someone to marry.
Yeah. I'm from back there. My family's from Scott County. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Matt knows. I did not know that, Matt. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Matt's from my area. No, I mean, I'm from way back in the boonies. Like, it's people do not understand how rough it can get back there. That's why it's so hilarious whenever I have people that think that they can talk rough to me, show me the rough side of their tongue with just random bullshit. Like, I've not been able to take it. I work pharmacy in those areas. I work pharmacy in Hurley, Virginia. I've only ever had to like pull or think that something was going to happen once. Luckily, because a lot of people have been held up, and I'm glad I've never had to experience that. But there was one time where it was full on. A guy came in to get his medication, and the guy he was clearly going to sell it to, he wasn't able to get the medication because he had an insurance problem, of course. The other guy was whacked out on meth, and they went out and got in a fist fight over the disagreement. The other guy got in his car. The guy who was on meth jumped on top of his moving car on the hood, took his fist, and busted his windshield with his fist. It was the most fucking insane thing I'd ever seen in person. And I've seen some insane shit. I've seen some shit. So whenever people come in and they think, oh, it's Jeremy, he's happy-go-lucky, I'm going to get rude with him and get my way. That's not how it fucking works. That ain't shit to me. Like, y'all have no clue.
Matt, I never lived in Canada. Frank, Canadians are mean and rude and ignorant. Like, this whole Canadians are friendly thing is bullshit. Live on the border of Canada and the U.S. for a little while, and you'll find out that Canadians are not all that they are portrayed to be. And then Matt, yeah, I get that.
I base all my opinions about Canada from South Park and Letterkenny.
That's fair. You also need to watch Shoresy. If you're a fan of hockey at all, pro tip to everyone, watch the show Shoresy. I think there's like 3 seasons now of it. Good stuff.
Here, I want to breach a subject, and you guys can like decline whether you want to talk about it or not. I mean, it's totally your prerogative. It's up to you. I don't care.
This has got to be quite the subject for me not to have an opinion on it.
Yeah.
I just think that there's a bit of a scandal in the New River Valley recently regarding politics and voter fraud. And quite frankly, like I've been working
Jesus Christ. I'm out
for the last 10-ish days. And
yeah, what the fuck was going on with that? I've not even got to look into it. I've been so busy.
I
was on vacation. I worked all through my vacation.
I was going to come and find out. I don't know, man.
I'm prompting you, damn it.
I don't know. I'm here to ask you. You're the one that.
I don't even know. I'm not even looked into it.
In this call, get Frank Merritt in this call. Frank, I know.
Frank,
you're not.
Frank, someone text the link to Frank.
I'll send it to him right now.
I need to know.
We need you.
I'm going to send it to him right now.
Give me that juicy shit.
Or anyone who wants to put in the chat that you feel like you can like aptly describe it without, getting us in serious trouble. But I don't know if we could trust Frank.
Who's gonna there's
serious
nobody
trouble.
Actually watching this. There's nobody.
I get drunk and curse on these things. This is whatever.
I just sent Frank the text message that has the link. Hopefully he jumps in. Hopefully he can give us the information. Maybe he'll even get Tina in on the screen with him. We could always bring Matt in. Matt probably is. Now Matt spends so much of his time now out of the area. He's a big time car dealer. God love him. 2 more years.
I'm telling you, those of us who actually get out and escape from Southwest Virginia, and Blacksburg is not true Southwest Virginia. If we get out of that black hole, we tend to do some pretty great things.
Yeah,
so, Matt McMurray, I'm proud of you.
Among the men I know, he has, and I've known Matt for probably about as long as I've known Paul, so 6-7 years.
Yeah.
And Matt was already doing great before, but just to see the glow up and everything that he's accomplished during that period of time is quite frankly really inspiring.
Frank, I disagree. It is the perfect.
I don't care. I actually like that you're at PK's.
Yes.
Go in your
Shout
car,
out to
Frank.
Mike Whaley and the crew at PK's.
Shout out.
All right. That's fine, Frank.
So
you bitch. We don't care.
For game 1, do any of you have any idea about the Sharkies renovation or what's going on with that?
Last time I was
be
downtown
done.
in Blacksburg, Sharkies was completely closed. I think they had most of the back framed in, but I don't know how close they are to having it finished.
I think they're going to be done by football season. If they're not, that's going to be
that
a
would be
huge
the
problem.
ideal plan.
Yeah, if they're not, then it's
got to be.
But man, I mean, that's an investment. They've needed to do that for a while.
Here's what I want. Here's what I'm looking for, fellas. I'm looking for the invite to the Campus Auto Suite. I have not had the invite to the Campus Auto Suite yet. And I'm just saying, we've been talking really nice about Matt McMurray today on this show. For the better part of the last half hour, we've been loving up on Matt McMurray. And none of us, Andrew, have you had the invite to the Campus Auto Suite?
I have not, but I don't know if
Jeremy?
I should be in the Campus Auto Suite, depending on
I didn't even know there was a Campus
what the
Auto
kind of crowd
Suite.
is.
See?
I was always good for the Main Street Pharmacy Suite. Like the bar there was relatively low in terms of where my behavior could go and where everyone else's might be. But
Andrew, I've found if you're just yourself all the time in most environments, it works out pretty well. People like genuine more than they like whatever.
That's fair.
As long as you've got the charisma, and you've got charisma.
Do I?
Just be yourself.
Thank you. Now,
plus, the accent that Matt McMurray was talking about, it tends to disarm people. I like it. And you've got that excellent deep voice, so I think you can pull it off.
That is
Appalachian dialect. I like it.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. You just put them on blast, and all of a sudden, just like that, boom.
There we go.
Boom. Yep.
Woo! Leslie's left.
Frank.
Frank. I don't even know. Like, I can't even respond to this. I can't respond to this.
See, I'm going on dates with these random women, and you talk about your life, and I'm like, yeah, like these wonderful people up in Blacksburg, they're like my second family. They're like second parents to me. It's like, oh, what are they like? And I just, boom, the mayor's love child arrested on 4 felonies.
Well, I have always said that I've feuded with the town over, well, right now my windows, but yeah, especially that fucking tree that they planted right in front of my goddamn sign.
Why you don't
But,
just
yeah.
let me show up one night and cut that thing down?
You can do it. I'm
I'll be
openly
out of
saying
there
I'm
before-
okay with anyone doing that. I am not. I'm saying right now that if something happens to that tree, it's not me, but I'll be very thankful to anyone who does.
All we need is a battery-powered Sawzall, which I could probably borrow from Campus Automotive. And by the way, Campus Automotive in Blacksburg, Virginia, if you're looking for state inspections, you need new tires, as they like to say there. Jeremy, did I say that right? Tars?
Cars?
Tars.
I don't
The
know.
things that your car rolls on. Tars.
Oh, does it sound that way?
Tar. That's what it sounds like to me.
Tires? I guess.
No, you don't do it right.
It's
You
more
don't
like
do it right.
tires. It's more like
I should
tires.
send the link to
We
Matt
got that
McMurray
eye.
just so you can come on and say tires.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
going through the drive-through, Emily
Yeah.
always wants light ice, which for me saying is like, I roll up the drive-through, I'm like, and I have light ice. They had never have any fucking clue what I'm talking about. I hate it when she orders light ice.
Light eye? I don't even know what
Yeah.
that is.
Light on the ice. You don't put a lot of ice in it, so it doesn't
Barney
water it
says
down.
tar and power rhyme with each other. Yeah. All right.
Tire
I can
power.
see that. Tire power.
Yeah, I got that.
Oh, Joe. Oh. Use a
Yeah,
little
Joe.
poison on the tree.
Yeah, Joe wants
Won't
us
be
to
as
Auburn the
obvious.
tree.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I'll
Alabama
have to
the
call-
Auburn tree.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. What did he say? Right, tight,
Right, light,
light.
Tight, light.
Well, but that
Yeah.
sounds like that when I say it too. Right, tight, light. Right, tight, light. Yeah. I mean, I can see it. I can see it. Andrew, what did you get hit up by a honey? Did you
Paul asked, "Did you
you
get
walk-
hit up by a honey?"
you walked away and your microphone.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry. I
There.
get like an old
There
man.
we go.
Yeah, he muted it to go talk dirty to his.
I
to
just
his-
got
boomer.
to. I just got to stay cognizant with my phone. That's all.
Is it?
Of course
What's
he
her
does.
name? What's her name?
Y'all can relax. That's all.
Are we gonna get to meet her? Are we gonna get to
If
meet
she could
her?
stick around, long enough, you'll see her in Matt McMurray's box as I show her how cool my life is.
Oh! All right.
Yeah, if she sticks around long enough, you're gonna take her to Matt McMurray's box.
What? I just like to go to fancy things that are cool, and give the impression that I have money.
All right, there you go.
Which, unfortunately, as Paul knows, previously I was completely and totally unable to give that impression under any circumstance. I was like,
Same,
"Do you have
dude.
$1? I've been looking to buy a double cheeseburger from McDonald's.
Yeah.
And my bank account's a little low. I can get you next Friday."
Dude,
Speaking
I
of
tried
which,
to
there are
take
two
care
guys-
of you. I tried my best.
And to the credit of like everyone in the town of Blacksburg, y'all did. I didn't die, and life was good. Wouldn't change a freaking thing. Wouldn't be able to do my current job if it wasn't for everything that Paul taught me.
I tried to get you a raise, brother.
I know you should have. I don't know.
I
We don't
tried
need
to get
into
you a
that.
raise also. Yeah.
I know you did, Paul.
It's all good. Here's the funny thing, and I don't know if we're allowed to talk about this, but I'm going to bring this up. I'm not mad
not?
about this, but the new home for Virginia Tech football, men's and women's basketball is going to be ESPN Blacksburg. I retired in December, but it is what it is. Good on them. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. I might have spent the last 8 years trying to make that thing happen, and it didn't. And then all of a sudden, maybe it's a me issue. Maybe I'm the fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it's maybe
the station is likely or significantly less likely to get canceled for any reason now that you're gone and I'm gone. But
yeah. It's probably better for them, like that we're not there just spouting off random rhetoric.
Yeah, but dude, those were like high points. Think about the time that we convinced Andrew and Nathan they were getting drug tested.
Oh my God, that was fantastic. I've done a lot of amazing things in my 25 years in radio. That waxing Ben Momber's back on the air was a thing that we did back in Michigan years and years ago. Oh my God, the fact that Nathan put himself through actual hell that weekend to try to clean his system up, and the fact that Andrew being his best friend, are you the best man in his wedding? Has that been determined yet?
I don't know if I'll be the best man in Nathan's wedding. I'll be the de facto best man at best, but we'll see.
This fucker, he is going to be the best man at Nathan's wedding, and he didn't even bother to tell him after the fact, like 2 days later, 1 day later, whatever it is, that we were just messing with it, because Andrew knew the whole time that we were screwing with him, because when Andrew questioned me, I couldn't keep a straight face. I lost it. I'm like, all right, let's see if we can get Nathan on this. And the fact that Andrew just dicked Nathan over, he was visibly and physically sick. He was vomiting on Sunday. Well,
and the best part is this was before like I knew Nathan and Andrew super well. So it was we really sold that one.
For those that don't know the story, I sent Jeremy a text message. Andrew and Nathan, one of their favorite things to talk about was all of the recreational things that they were participating in, and I'll leave it at that. So I texted Jeremy one day while we were starting the show, and I was like, hey, do me a favor, hit the text line with something along the lines of the drug tests that we ordered are in, and they're foolproof, like you can't beat them. And he's like, all right, man, I got you. So Jeremy sends this, no joke, like paragraph of like how the drug tests can't be beat, like anybody that's doing drugs on the staff, we're going to know about it instantly. And so I'm sitting there and I see this pop up on my computer screen. So I'm ignoring it and I'm engaged with Andrew and Nathan having a conversation. But I see Andrew out of the corner of my eye and he's looking at his computer and he's looking at me and he's looking at his computer and he's looking at me. And like you can see terror in his face, right? Like Andrew is genuinely concerned about whatever the hell is going to happen here on Monday.
I was a little bit, I was never concerned though, Paul. I was always pretty open and honest with you about what I was doing.
Yeah.
And
Nathan's gonna kill us for telling this story. I just realized.
It's all right. It's all right. Nobody listens to this. Ignore the number of people watching.
He's not gonna get stopped in the supermarket one time, and he's gonna blame this story.
Maybe. So Andrew, we take a commercial break. And Andrew is like dead quiet, but he's staring at me. And I'm like, what? And he's like, are we really getting drug tested on Monday? And I lost it. Like I couldn't, like the genuine fear in his eyes and the look on his face. I started laughing. I'm like, no, Jeremy and I are just fucking with you. No. And he's like, oh,
that was one of my favorite practical jokes ever.
But from there, the moment Paul lost it, he immediately gave himself up. I then play the role I needed to play. And I walk into, and obviously there's like 3 people in the world, maybe more than 3, probably like 10, if you include like Matt McMurray and people who are in the studio on a regular basis. There was a true, consistent, like every commercial break, I would stand up, I would walk into Nathan's studio and like shoot the shit with them.
Yeah.
And so after this whole situation plays out, I stand up, I walk into Nathan's studio, and he's in there like, he's like, "You see that, man?" And I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, I did. Isn't that crazy? Dude, like, like, what happens here? And I'm like, I mean, yeah. I mean, we could just go find other jobs. like I'm sure it's summer. I'm sure the bar would hire us. He's like, "Dude, this is like, we literally just talked like last night about how this is like a dream job." And I'm like, well, not much we can do about that now, huh? You play the cards that you're dealt. He's like freaking out. I mean, I think I might be good. I don't know. And yeah, sheer panic. But I mean, like, playing him like a fiddle.
So Nathan starts Googling ways to get stuff out of my system, right?
On the radio station PC.
Pennies. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's sucking on pennies. He's eating like kale. He's drinking shakes. Like,
I feel terrible because if I knew he was going to do all that, I would have just told him stop. Because all that detox stuff, if you read anything from anything that says wellness on it, it's bullshit. All of that shit is bullshit. Don't do that. And in fact, you're probably going to do a lot more harm to yourself by damaging your liver. So don't do that.
He lost a lot of weight, though.
He did.
I'm sure he did.
Lost like 15 pounds.
So he goes. So fast forward to Monday, okay? Nathan rolls into the radio. Andrew knows, and you're a dick for never telling him, by the way. Andrew knows. So Nathan rolls in and he's like, "I'm going to get fired today." And I'm like, "What do you mean, dude?" And he's like, "That thing that Jeremy sent on Friday about the drug test, I'm not going to pass that. Like, I'm going to get fired today." And of course, at that point, I broke, right? Like, same thing with Andrew. Like, I broke and I start laughing. I'm like, we were just messing with you. And Nathan and vintage Nathan was like, you dick. And he starts listing all these things that he did over the weekend. He's like, I was sick. I was throwing up. I thought I was going to die. You guys, you suck. And I'm like, boy, Andrew knew Friday right after it happened. He's like, he's a dick too. So Andrew rolls into the radio station about 10 minutes after. Nathan's waiting for him. You're a dick. Andrew's like, fucking I do, man.
Oh, that is easily my top practical joke of all time. Second also involves ESPN Blacksburg when I convinced Manit and Liam that the ESPN chopper was real. They were taking them out.
A lot of people. Evan Hughes believed that for years. Evan Hughes.
They went to the Blacksburg airport.
I hope Evan's listening right now. Evan, I love you, buddy.
Evan believed it.
No,
you'd be amazed how many people believe that.
There was a moment out back at Sharky's when Evan's like, and I think it was me and Nathan like grabbing drinks with Evan and Drew in his car. And Evan's like, the chopper. And I'm just like, I mean, yeah, like, yeah, the chopper. He's like, what?
I had poor Manit. I had poor Manit and Liam go into the Blacksburg private airport, had them go in, and they were looking on the radar for choppers that were coming in, thinking there was a ESPN chopper that was going to take them out.
Fantastic.
Oh, that was a fun
okay,
one.
I'm going to pull back the curtain here for everyone there's 97 people right now listening to this tomfoolery. I'm going to pull back the curtain for you.
Thank you, all 97 of you.
Yes, indeed. We love all of you. Here's the deal. If you are hearing it on the radio and you're like, this seems a little bit too funny, too good, too odd to be true, it probably is. We all lie. That's what we do on radio. So I'm just throwing it out there.
It's a joke. There's a difference.
Yeah, it is. Hey,
It's a gag.
it's been an hour and 20 minutes. What do you guys say? Let's wrap this up and let's do it again in a couple weeks.
For sure. Any final
Yeah,
words,
brother.
boys?
Final words? I don't know if I have any. Regaling how mad Nathan was might, again, 25 years I did radio. Like, I waxed Ben Momber's back on the air. Like, Nathan and the drug screening thing was arguably one of the best things I ever did in my radio career. Second only maybe to COVID and the Mount Rushmore bit, which I got to give full credit to Andrew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore was fun. That helped me get through COVID, and being in COVID as a healthcare provider during that time was not just scary, it sucked in a lot of ways. I
Wayne,
had
the
people leave my
helicopter was
pharmacy
fake.
over that shit
The helicopter
because
was
I was
fake.
just
Santa is
trying to
real.
take care of them. It sucked.
Yeah, I mean, don't choke me up, guys. But obviously, good times to relive and plenty of good times to come. Very, very excited for the. And this is going to sound crazy, right? Since I was 18 years old, I don't think I've ever gone more than 3 months without being in Blacksburg. I haven't been in Blacksburg since November, which is like makes me sick to my stomach. So it's good to know that at the end of August, I'll venture up, and then I'll venture up the next weekend after that, and then 2 weeks after that, and then so on and so on and so on, until me and Jeremy are in like Miami for the Orange Bowl in some sort of, holding cell because of whatever we did. So it's going to be a great fall.
Accurate. That's probably accurate. Boys, we'll do it again in a couple weeks, all right?
Y'all, love y'all. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. This has been Blacksburg on the Rocks. Yeah.